What is up, everybody? Ninja Nick here with Tactical Gaming, bringing you guys another Marvel Rivals video. This one is going to be about strategists. How to play, how to be good, and understanding that this is a team-based game. Okay? Doesn't matter what role you play, at all. Team-based game. Okay? So you need to work as a team with your team for you to actually be able to be successful and win. Like I said, doesn't matter what role you play, but it just comes down to working as a team. Now, we're going to be talking about strategists in this one. Sadly, strategists, just like Vanguards, don't have very many characters to play as. Now, before we get fully into this, make sure you guys go check out W.GG, my official channel sponsor. They are zero sugar, non-jittery energy supplement company. They come in a powder form, into the little tubs, kind of like, G Fuel and Game of Subs and all those other ones. Zero sugar, non-jittery, very interesting flavors. Link and all that's going to be down in the comment section down below, pinned comment. You get 10% off if you use my link and my code, TacticalGaming90, for 10% off. I get a kickback, helps me and my channel out. I don't get paid to do YouTube because I ain't one of those famous people, right? And that's one of the best parts about W is they help smaller creators out with sponsorships. So if you're a smaller creator, go check them out. They might be able to actually, help you out. I got accepted, and I was very surprised considering I do a bit of everything. Political stuff. I'm not politically correct. I call shit out how it is. I'm just one of those people. If I don't like you, I don't like you. If you're a bad person, you're a bad person. I don't give a shit. If you're gay, straight, tranny, I don't care. If you're a piece of shit, you're a piece of shit. And I treat you as such, right? So, strategists, okay? Very important role in the game. Every role in the game is very important, right? You need tanks, you need DPSs, and you need healers. But for some reason, there is an illness in this game, and it is affecting every group in this game. And I do mean every single one, from Vanguards to Duelists to Strategists. And what I'm talking about is the main player syndrome that is going around in this game, right? At every character base, whether it is Duelist, Strategist, or Vanguard, every character base has those people in them, which is weird. Like, DPS kind of makes sense. I kind of get it, but is still no excuse. But the thing is, okay, if you're going to be, like, running a triple healer meta or comp or whatever you want to call it, one of those healers has to be a main healer that's one of the better healers out there, that's healing the team. That's healing their DPSs. That's healing their tanks. Okay? And then the other healer, their job is to heal the other healer, as well as help keep the other team alive. Right? Whether that's, oh, hey, you're going to focus on the DPSs. I'm going to focus on the tank or tanks. Right? And then the third healer, like, let's say you have an Adam Warlock, you have a Deadpool, and a Gambit, right? Two of these people better be putting an ass load of healing out, while this person puts out a little bit of healing, a little bit of damage, but has his resurrection ability. Because he has a resurrection ability. Very good ability, right? So, strategy is one of the biggest things about this game. But understanding the character you're playing as, what they can and can't do, and what you can get away with as that character is very, very important, okay? This was one of the very first characters I ever lorded in this game, and I lorded him as a healer, okay? Healer Bull is one of my favorite healers, because this dude can keep himself alive, he can help the team stay alive, especially if he groups up. He's better grouped up with people as a healer, right? His damage output is really good, decent for a healer, probably one of the best damage output healers other than Luna Snow, right? Luna Snow is like the DPS damage output healer that we got. And then Mantis. Now granted, each one of these characters, like, he has a resurrection ability, and he has a resurrection ability. So two really good healers to have on your team when it comes to keeping your team alive or having them come back into the game quicker than waiting for them to respawn at the spawn point, right? So that's a strategy. So, case in point, Here's something for you. If you have one tank, two DPSs, and three healers, one of those healers has to make sure their job is to resurrect somebody or everybody or anyone they can. Okay? The other two healers, their job, one's primary job should be keeping the tanks alive as well as the other healer alive, and the other one should be keeping the DPSs alive as well as the other healer. Okay? You as a healer, especially if there's multiple healers, more than two, if you have three healers, y'all got to take care of yourselves. Okay? And stop asking for peels from your solo tanks. Stop asking your tanks to turn around to help you because the backline's getting dived on by somebody when you have three healers. The three healers, y'all better save yourselves. Okay? And this is coming from someone who plays healer. Okay? Lord, getting ready to be Lord. Okay? So I know how to heal. I know how to play a healer. So if you have a trip healer group on your team, y'all better be asking each other for help first. And then the second person you should be asking help for is DPSs. DPSs. I cannot stress this enough. You are one of the main reasons of why your teams are fucking losing. Because you, as a DPS, for some reason, unless you're a good DPS player, and I'm not saying, oh, you can get a lot of eliminations. No, you understand your role type, and you understand that this game isn't Call of Duty, and your job is to help your team progress. Okay? So, if you have two DPSs, one is a dive-style DPS, and the other one isn't, the other one should stay there and help the tank or tanks with damage output, as well as peel for the healers if need be. Okay? As a solo tank, you should not be asking them to sit there and turn around, whether they're shielding or pushing or holding, whatever your tank is doing. As a solo tank, you should not, as a healer, be asking your tank to turn the fuck around to help you. Okay? They're already helping you by holding the line. They're already helping you by shielding. You need one of your other healers or your DPS to save your ass. So if you're a DPS player and you ain't peeling for your team and you're able to, because majority of DPS characters have a decent kind of ability that gets them around, right? Majority, not all, majority of DPSs have really high-end mobility type of moves. So, your job is to fucking help your healers. If you cannot help your healers, you should not be playing this game. Especially in comp matches, if you can't understand that you got two or three healers, you got two or three DPSs, and one tank. Stop attacking the tanks for not turning around to save you. And if you're a tank player, stop turning around to save your idiotic team members from themselves. Because now you just died. You as a tank, your job is to hold the line, push the line, and shield. Create and keep space. That is your job as a tank. Not just absorb damage, not just to pop up a shield. No. That's a part of it, yes. But your job is to push. Your job as a healer is to keep your tank alive so they can keep pushing. Your job as a healer is to keep your DPS alive so they can help putting out the damage output to eliminate the enemy DPSs or enemy healers. Strategy: take out the enemy healers first and foremost, and then the DPSs and then the tanks, or tanks and then DPSs, either way. But the first target as a DPS on your team, like you as a DPS, should be going after enemy healer. If you are a dive and you aren't diving on the healers, but you're attacking other DPSs and you're attacking the tanks but not the healers, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you doing that? Like why? Because the thing is, it's the healers that keep everyone alive, right? You take the healers out, They now have to wait 5 seconds to respond, and then however much time it takes them to get to where they're at with their team, right? So, maybe understand that this isn't Call of Duty, Black Ops, Fortnite, whatever first or third person shooter that you're used to playing, where you as an individual matters, right? Like, oh, hey, I got this many kills on my team. Cool, good for you. That's Call of Duty. This isn't Call of Duty. There's only one type of freaking game in this, like, I can't say game. There's one type of actual match style in this to where that actually matters. That's 18 versus 18. Only then does it matter on the individual's eliminations. Okay? That's literally it. Unless it's a free-for-all or whatever else. Guess what? If you are in a convoy or a capture, your job is to be a team member and not an individual. You are no longer an individual when you play a team-based game. Okay? That's strictly towards you DPS players who literally think you are the gods of this game because you have the damage output. Luna Snow has damage output. She also has healing. So y'all gotta get your head out your butts. But, once again, not any role is more important than the other. A lot of people like to look at tanks as if they are the most useless role, most boring role ever. Y'all ain't gonna be saying that when there's no one tanking, because a lot of people are like refusing to play if there's no tanks. You will hear people go, oh, well, we need a tank. We need at least one tank. Then why aren't you switching to tank? Why are you deadlocking DPS? Why are you deadlocking being the third freaking healer? See, this is an unspoken rule in my opinion. Okay? You go into a match. You're selecting your characters. You're the first person to select your character, right? Like first person on your team to select a character. Doesn't matter what you select. You, as the first person who chose your character, you aren't obligated to switch. Okay? Now, if there's people who just deadlocked 3 healers and then the 4th healer deadlocked, if you're the last healer that deadlocked, or the last 2, you better fucking switch if you're losing. Okay? Now, granted, at the same time, if you are not doing the best on your team as a healer, DPS, or tank, and there's others that are doing better than you as the healer, DPS, or tank, you should switch either a different role or a different character. Because that is the massive issue that people are having with other players in this game, is their refusal to switch off of a character because they don't play any other character or any other role type. Okay? I'm not going to get mad at people for not wanting to play tank or not wanting to play DPS or not wanting to play healer. Okay? But if you just play one character, like if all you play is Gambit and nothing but Gambit, you're going to piss people off. And that goes for anybody, whether it's just a Rocket, just Ultron, just Jeff, just a Jubilee, it doesn't matter. If that's the only character you play as and you don't play as any other character, just stop playing the game. Just stop playing the game. Now, granted, I am one of those people who do believe in, hey, play a game that how you want to play and everything else, but this is a team-based game. Okay? Don't be a selfish, greedy little asshole and sit there and go, you know what? I am going to do what I want to do because this is my game and I can do what I want. You didn't buy this game. It's a free-to-play game. You might buy your skins, but this is a team-based game. Play as a team. Okay? Or don't play this game at all. And this coincides for every group of people, whether you are a Vanguard main, DPS main, or Strategist main. I don't care. Whether you're a flex player or whatever. Your job is to work as a team and not be an asshole. You want to be an asshole because someone's an asshole? Totally fine. But do not sit there and act as if you are like the shit just because you're doing slightly better on your team. That doesn't matter if the rest of your team is doing bad. Okay? Case in point, I had a match where we had 3 DPSs, we had 2 healers, and me as a tank. Okay? My DPSs were going off on their own. Like, one would go off over here, one would go off to over there, and another one would go off like way beyond like me. right? They're way in front of me, and then I have two other DPSs going off and doing their own thing. Constantly dying over and over, just feeding to the enemy team. Instead of switching or deriving a new strategy, they just kept doing it the entire match. And then proceeded to sit there and call me and the healers trash because we couldn't push. It's like, excuse me, we had no damage output with us while we were fighting 2 tanks, 2 DPSs, and 2 healers. You guys kept going out there by yourselves, getting eliminated over and over and over again. That right there is an issue. And that right there is a common occurrence in both quick match and in comp. And that needs to end. People like you need to stop playing this game, or you need to understand that if you want to win, or if you want people to actually like you on this game, which most people don't give a shit, you gotta work as a team. Okay? You can have 3 healers, but get no healing done, or no progression done because your DPSs ain't doing their jobs, or their tank isn't doing their job. Okay? I've been a healer where it's been like 2 or 3 healers, but we had 1 tank and there were a dive style tank, and instead of either switching or staying with the team, they kept fucking dying. I'm a tank man. I have more tanks lorded in this game than I do any other group, okay? I have played as Venom, Thor, and multiple other dive-style tanks, and I have derived strategies for them to work whether they are a main tank as a dive tank. I mean, literally pushing a convoy as Venom with my team. Meaning I am not going to the enemy backline to attack the backline and leave my front line defenseless. No! If you're going to play a dive tank as a solo, you need to have strategies. It's the same thing if you're unlucky enough to be a solo healer, which I've been solo healer before. I've been a solo healer and a solo DPS. I've been solo quite a bit on this game, right? You have to have strategies, right? You have to get good with your characters, which is why I suggest finding a character, getting them to a certain point, and that's why I suggest getting a character to Lord, because that's enough hours as that character that you have probably had multiple different scenarios, multiple different freaking games, to the point where you're like, okay, if this happens, I can do this, or if this happens, I can do that, or if we're going against this character, I can end up doing this, or switch to this person. That's how this game is. Period. Doesn't matter what role type you play. Period. That's how this game is. Okay? You have to have strategies and understand the characters that you're playing. That's why I said just everybody, what role you play, especially if you're a flex player, play a character, get good with that character, lord that character. That gives you the availability of understanding what their capabilities are. Like, understanding how all of their movesets work, how they can complement each other with other characters. You have to do that with this game, period. Especially if you're going to be in comp matches with other people. Because if you do not do that, it is going to cost you a win. Now, granted, I can already hear people out there, oh, well, winning isn't everything. Yeah, but this is a team-based game where if you don't want to win, why are you playing this game? Right? Why are you playing a game if your goal isn't to win? Your goal should always be to win, just not be a dick about winning. You know what I mean? Like, be a team player. And that's the, like, I touched up on this in, I think, my Vanguard video I did. Talked about how it's very clear a lot of the people who play this game never played team-based games in reality. Like, as in, like, they never played soccer, never played football, never played hockey, never played anything that required you, at the end of the match, to go up to the team that you went against and shake hands and say, good game. I've been in plenty of sports in my day, to the point to where I had to shake the hands of someone who fouled me and say, good game. It's called respect. Sadly, because the anonymity of everything and how, like, it's the internet and whatnot, that's out the door. People do not know how to be respectful anymore on any sense of the word or semblance of any understanding, period. It is crazy. Now granted, I'm also a firm believer that respect is earned and not just given. Okay? Everyone deserves some form of respect in some way, but if someone's disrespectful towards you, I don't believe you should be 100% respectful towards them, period, either. So, the thing is, derive strategies, understand your characters, play more than one character if you're just going to play one type. If you're just going to be strategist, play more than one strategist. Derive multiple different strategies for your characters, especially if you're playing a strategist. Because as a strategist, you're super squishy, and if you don't have a self-heal ability for your strategist, then you have to understand how to stay alive, where your health packs are, where your angle of attack should be, or angle of heal should be, whether your stuff might bounce like hers does, or like his does, right? You have to understand your character, how their healing is done, much like how Loki's healing is done. Loki's healing is mainly done through their actual little clones that they do. You put out 3 of your clones, and then you use your L1 ability, which then puts out that healing pool down. You have to understand your characters. You have to understand how they work and what works for them and what doesn't. This goes for everybody. I've touched up on this with every single video I did on the Vanguards, the Strategists, and, the DPSs. You have to understand your character. You have to understand your team. You have to be willing to work as a team. You have to be willing to either switch off of a character, or even not even just switch off of a character, maybe switch out of a role type. If you're not doing decent heals, you need to switch to DPS or tank, especially if there's one DPS or one tank. If you have one tank and you have 3 healers and 2 DPSs, maybe one of those healers, especially the one that's doing the worst heals, should switch to tank. And or switch to a different healer that has better healing output. You got to have the understanding that if you want to win, or you want to get good at this game, you have to understand the character. You have to understand how their moveset works. And the best part about it is, right, is you can go to the character, right? You can literally go to their abilities. And then you can go down here and look at suggested combos. They give you a suggested combo list of what to do, which then helps you better understand the character. You're like, oh, okay. And then if you don't want to sit there and test out combos yourself, guess what you can do? That right there. But just have that as an understanding, okay? And then, at the same time, this is the other thing that matters now, is team-ups. Your team-ups that you choose for your character, especially if you have multiple characters on your team that all have team-ups, you're more likely to win. If you have a character that complements each other that has a team-up with another character, you are more likely to win than a whole team of characters who have no matching team-ups, okay? Deadpool and Gambit. Let's say you have a DPS Deadpool and a Gambit healer. You can switch to Deadpool's team up with Gambit, and Gambit can have a team up with Jubilee or with or Mag, right? If you have a Mag on your team, a Deadpool on your team, and a Jubilee on your team, and each one of them are complement each other with their team up ability, you are more likely to win against the enemy team, unless 1, skill, and 2, if their team ups are more than yours, or once again skill. Skill and understanding character does matter. It does not matter how many individual eliminations you get, whether you're a healer or a DPS, it does not matter. Same thing with tanks. Individuality does not matter in this game. Why? It is a team-based game. And I am going to touch up on that period when it comes to another video I'm going to do. I'm going to talk about individuality in this game does not matter. You are not an individual playing Marvel Rivals. You are a team member. That is your job. That is something to be understood. If you don't want to be a team member, go play Fortnite, go play Call of Duty, go play single-player games. Okay? So, understanding your strategist, understanding abilities, having strategies for your characters, knowing when to switch or flex. There's so much to this game. This game isn't just a choose a character, go out, get eliminations. That's not how it works. That's never how this is going to work unless they literally make it like Tokon or whatever that game is that they're doing, a fighter game. This isn't a fighter game where it's like one-on-one. They have that ability. You can actually go to like I think Manhattan or whatever it is, and you can actually go into the things like little gym and you can actually fight your friends one-on-one. That's pretty cool. That's pretty cool. But that has nothing to do with team members and team-based game. That's what this is. So, hopefully that helps everyone have a better understanding how to play a character, understanding how a character works, how their moves work, and how each one of these characters can complement and or literally be the like benefit to your team against the enemy team. Okay? Because you can have like one of these characters who literally can melt an enemy team member. It just comes down in understanding, right? Like, I'll use this as an example. So, Deadpool, he has his guns and his swords. You have a Doctor Strange on your team who pops up his shield. As Deadpool, should you be shooting at his shield, or should you go up and start using your swords on his shield? Did you answer? Okay, here's the answer. You're going to want to use your swords or some kind of brawler-style ability on it, because that's what gets rid of his shield. Understanding how to like counteract your enemy team and their like characters is how you win this game. Which is why flexing and switching matters. Okay, whether you're a flex player or just switch off of one tank to another tank, or one DPS to another DPS, or one strategist to another strategist, it comes down to understanding who works with who. Okay? Because some teams trash. I mean, like, some team ups, as in like you can't just get random characters and expect them to actually do really good, unless you as that player with that character are really good. Okay, so individuality of this game does not matter. You aren't an individual in this game, you're a team member. But I digress. That's the end of the video. I hope this helps people understand teamwork. Understand your character, no matter who the character is. Strategies for each character that you play. If you're going to play multiple characters, multiple strategies. Which is why it's like, choose only a few or play as many as you want. Up to you. But if you want to have fun playing this game, and if you actually want to win playing this game, you need to understand team dynamics, strategies, and how to counteract each other. That's literally how it works with this game. But hopefully you all enjoyed this. Make sure you guys go check out w.gg and use my code TacticalGaming90 for 10% off. W helps smaller creators much like myself with sponsorships. So if you're needing some sponsorships, go check them out. You might get lucky. Within 15 minutes, you'll hear. So go to w.gg, go all the way down, look for their sponsorship program, and you can apply. They sponsor YouTubers, Twitchers, Instagram people, TikTokers, all that shit. Like, if you do social media of some kind and you want to make it a job, or you want to like get some kind of form of payment while doing a normal job, there you go. They literally will sponsor anyone, whether it comes down to a certain kind of content you do. All right? I got accepted. I was very surprised. So, catch me for my next video, guys. Later.